Hey guys, so it looks like the patch notes have dropped, and this patch is the one that's bringing us some bound gold updates, some chaos dungeon quest updates, and also some updates that I'm actually really surprised that they added and happy they added. So we're going to dive into this right now. Starting off with Indigo Island, which is the new island that's coming, and you get a couple of new achievements for this island and some horizontal stuff. And also on top of this, they also are giving some honing materials in here. So you can use the luminous coral that you get from this island to exchange for progression materials, including elixirs and silver instead of gold and much more. So you're going to be able to go in here, do this island and get some rewards, and you complete this island once every day per roster. So if you need some of these extra honing materials and things like that, feel free to come to this island and get some of that. But the meat and potatoes of this update definitely has to be the bound gold system. So what the bound gold system is that when you do certain things in the game, it will give you gold. And this gold will be entirely bound. So you're only going to be able to use it on these things. Basically, how it works is that these things that you can use the gold on are things that will never be able to interact with other players. So this is a way to keep the gold bound to your account and make sure it never leaves your account and spreads into the rest of the economy. So you have things like honing, advanced honing, quality upgrade. All these things are part of the bound gold system you can use the gold on, but you can't use it on things like the marketplace. You can't send stuff to other players. You can't even craft like orejas that are tradable. You can only use it on the farm ones. So that's what the bound gold system is. And where you get the bound gold are from two places: Una's tokens and solo raids. It's actually funny because I actually predicted that this would, change Una's tokens and give us bound gold for Una's and not increase the amount of gold we get from Una's, which is exactly what they did. And, it's pretty obvious why they did that, right? It's because of bots. So kind of sucks, unfortunately, but I do think that getting more gold from solo raids is definitely going to be very beneficial for new players. So personally, it's something that I'm willing to give up, but it definitely is a little bit of a bummer because, it is a little bit of gold every week that some people get. And it would have been nice to be able to use it to, I don't know, access the market, but I guess not. But looking at the gold changes, here is a chart with the gold changes. It does the previous gold and the change gold for both the extra reward cost and also just like clearing the raid. And from my calculations, for the most part, it's about 80% of the normal mode gold. So if we look right here with a con, we get 1400 here, 1800 here, and 3600 here from all gates, which I think totals up to about 6800 gold. So if you look at a con normal gold, it's 8500 gold from a con normal. So 6800 is about 80%, or sorry, 20% less than what we get from the normal raid. So 80% of the normal raid gold, which is pretty much what China gets. So I think it's a pretty dang good change. I don't know. Some people might still think it's not enough. I think it's great, and it's a nice step in the right direction. It's definitely not as much as hard mode gold though. So, and I don't think that they'll ever do it to where it's kind of closer to the hard mode gold. So I think this is a nice change, good for new players, and the fact that it's bound is fine because most people are playing solo raids when they're a newer player and just trying to progress through the game anyways. So this will help a lot with new player progression, which I'm very happy about. Next up are daily improvements. And with this comes a change to Chaos Dungeons and also Cube, which I'm actually very pleasantly surprised about. If you've seen one of my previous videos before, you'll know that I really don't like Cube. And while they didn't change how Cube works, they're going to make it a little bit more bearable, which we'll go into a little bit. But hopping into the Chaos Dungeon changes, we have a new system for Chaos Dungeon, which is the weekly purification mission system. And what this looks like is it's kind of like Una task, where every time you do Chaos Dungeon, you will get points. You get 50 points per Chaos Dungeon, and this caps out at 300 points. So that means that you can do Chaos Dungeon a total of 6 times per week to max out this system. Now, in exchange for this system coming in, we are actually getting a removal of silver and honor shards in our chaos dungeons, but those rewards will be put into these chests instead. I don't know how much silver and shards will be in these chests, but from what I've heard, it's actually more than what we get right now. I'm crossing my fingers that is still the case, but we'll have to see. And according to this image, it looks like the first chest and the second chest are epic chests, and then we have a legendary chest for the third one. So you are going to want to max this out to get the third one, because that will probably have the most rewards out of every single chest. Now, this change comes because they said that, look, we understand that players experience a lot of fatigue doing things like chaos dungeons, and doing it every single day is tough. So what we're going to do it is we're going to put the most important rewards, which are the silver and the honor shards, inside of these chests. So you only have to do it 6 times a week to basically get the rewards for the entire week. And then the rest of the week are just kind of bonuses. You can still get the regular honing materials like destructions, guardians, and leaps from Chaos Dungeon, but for the silver and the honor shards, you only need to do it 6 times a week to get the maximum rewards for that. So I think that's a pretty cool change. Personally, I'm probably still going to be doing Chaos Dungeon every day almost, but you know, for anybody who has less time, this is going to be a huge change, especially for progression for their characters, because honor shards are probably going to be the most expensive thing to buy for the most part, right? So having these in these boxes is going to be really, really cool. In addition to that, they're actually going to be adding an event for this for the first little bit, which we'll go in a little while down at the bottom of this patch notes. But next part we're going to go into is going to be the cubes, and it's a pretty simple change, but they're scaling the enemy's HP based on the number of players. And personally, I think that's great, because I think cube takes way too long and the monster's just way too tanky. So I'm happy for this change, and hopefully this will make Chaos Ebony Cube a lot more bearable. I'm going to be doing a before and after comparison, so hold tight for that video to come. Now, next is going to be the events for this update. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a Chaos Dungeon Purification event. And this event, what it does is it will give us some bonus chests at the end of our 300 points milestone. Well, first our 100 points, 200 points, then 300 points, right? Every one of those milestones will give us an extra bonus chest. And in these chests will include honing materials such as Destruction Obliteration Stones, Guardian Protection Stones, and tier 3 leap stones. So some more honing materials to help us push our characters up to tier 4. In addition to this, each chest will also have purification tokens that can be spent at an event shop for rewards such as Transcendence Restoration tickets, honing support chests, and fusion materials. So a lot of the stuff that will help us with our endgame progression. This is, from what I can tell, a pretty dang juice shop. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's inside of it. And it's definitely a very, very welcome event. Now, they're also doing things like, you know, adding another daily quest for the Makoko event, the summer event. They're also adding a new monthly fever time, a new daily login reward is also being added. So kind of the usual stuff, right? In addition to that, we're also getting a new Narias. You can watch this video in the link description below, but these Narias are actually really, really good. These kind of look like the Prefby outfits that go for a lot of money in the market. And there's also some other like kind of more like, I guess, hip hop breakdance outfits, something like that. But these are really cool areas. I'm definitely gonna be buying some for most of my characters. And also they're giving us these runner skins, which personally I'm not a huge fan of, but if you like these, go ahead and buy them, right? And they're bringing back Omen cosmetics, which I think are one of the least popular sets. So I don't think anybody's really excited about that. But the last update for this patch notes has to be these character name resets and endgame content changes. So character name reset, what this is character names that have been inactive for about a year, below combat level 50, and also not trusted, will be getting their names wiped. And everybody who wants those names can go ahead and change their names to those names that have been wiped. In addition to that, for the endgame content, what this is really basically a change to kind of like when the dungeon vote quit system, right? So if you're voting to quit, I think there's like a 10-second delay at the beginning. I'm hoping that's what they're getting rid of. They're not giving us the details for it, but I hope that's what it is. And also, if you are in an end game content, like let's say a raid or solo raid, if you are trying to leave the game, I guess a pop-up will pop up, be like, hey, you're doing end game content, you're gonna lose your ticket or something like that. So they're probably doing that as well. Nice changes, kind of small quality of life updates, but nice overall. I think the biggest thing really was the gold changes and also for the Chaos Dungeon update. And I think overall, this is a positive patch. It sucks that we're getting bound gold for Una's tokens, but honestly, I think that the amount of gold it gives is kind of negligible anyways. And for new players, they probably are just using this for progression anyways. And I'd rather get the solo raid gold update rather than not getting it, right? So guys, I'm pretty happy about this patch. It's pretty good. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit the like button, hit the sub button, ring the notifications. And also I stream on twitch.tv/misoshiro every single day. In addition, this weekend on Saturday at 11 p.m. PST, we will be having a podcast with Memorizer and Lustboy to talk about Tier 4. So if you guys want to join for that, please come to my stream. But if not, hopefully I see you guys on the next video. All right, guys. Peace out.